Hi Olga, hello. Hope you're well. Apologies, this is coming a little bit late, but let's start. Let's look at this. Let's look at what you're doing over here and get through task 1 and I think 2 and 3, because I think these are at least task 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. I think 2 is on the spreadsheets, but let's get through 1. So I was pleased with your work on ethics, which was. Sorry, I'm just trying to get through to it, which was task 1. It starts off trying to get you to discuss what's going on here with Sarah. So this is good. I liked this. This was correct. She must comply with CPD. In fact, all of this was good, except just one thing, which I'll talk about. But you're not wrong. It's just that maybe you're just a bit too, you're being a bit, which I would understand you probably would do and say, no, I'm not doing it anymore. So this one, yes, you cannot guarantee, if you like, the assurances on the rental agreement. So if you read the question again very quickly, you can see why you can't really guarantee the future of the business. You're just, if you like, an external independent. You don't really know what they want to use that money for. It says they have a rich cash position, but we don't know. An excellent cash position. We don't actually know what that might be money for other purposes. And we cannot predict the future. We don't know, the economic conditions might change. Here, exactly, the question here is she does not breach duty of confidentiality. So that was good. Here again, yes, the conversations are confidential. I think the issue is here. So this was, here you were being asked to kind of inflate the value of the business by accepting a positive, if you like, trying to improve the prepayments. And where is it? Yes, to review that. So either make these look better because you're going to get something at Christmas, and that's not good. So Sam should look at no. So this is false. You shouldn't do this. You don't. It's a bit extreme. So reporting this to your manager, letting your manager know is enough. Here it says Sam should tell her manager that she cannot work on the client anymore. That's a tricky one, and I kind of understand why you've gone with true. But as you can imagine, I can imagine why you've said this. They've actually said the answer is false. I think maybe because they want you to at least discuss. You will always have threats and risks, so it's really a matter of safeguards and putting safeguards in place. I don't know. I suspect I would have leaned towards false because it's a bit stark. It's a bit like strong. You cannot work anymore. I think it's more about, I cannot do this. Can we have some safeguards in place to prevent me struggling with this client, as opposed to rejecting working for the client altogether? I think it's a bit strong. So the answer really here was false as well. So they were all false. And you're right, that was a self-interest threat. Yes, sell your shares or ask to be taken off this client. Fraud does not threaten our 5 fundamental principles. So that was good. That was task 1. So you only dropped a mark there. Let's go on to task 2 very quickly. Task 2, they want you to do some double entry. I have a feeling you've forgotten a little of what's going on here, but also maybe in a rush you sort of missed a few things. So you correctly identified that, well, they told you very nicely that these were both accruals, and I think in your rush you've picked up, it says 1st of February. So 1st of February, if we look at here, February, March, April, right? Because you're 1st of February to the 31st of April, or 30th of April, sorry. So that's 3 months. So your invoice comes in, if you like, dated 30th of April, covering a 3-month period from the 1st of February. So there's February, March. Our year end is the 31st of March, sorry. So we need 2 months to be accrued. You've just accrued for 1. Unless this is 4. Sorry. Unless I'm not reading your handwriting very well. But this should be 440. So if this is 4, forgive me, you are correct. It just looks like a 2 as well. So I guess you're typing, so in the exam it won't matter. So the answer is 440. So I hope this is 4. If it is 4, well done, you're correct. If it is 2, it shouldn't be. It should be 4. Here, we're told, so this is correct because we're told that we have 16 more days out of 31 to accrue for, and that is equal to 516. So this is correct. Just be clear with your numbering, but I wasn't sure when I read that, but well done. This is good. You picked this up straight away. Of course, if you will have 3,500 worth of accruals, you will debit your expense with another 3,500, and here you will credit your expenses or your income statement with 2,100, so giving you an overall effect of 1,400 hit on your income statement. So this is correct. This is good. So the next thing over here was this business over here. So you were almost there. You missed out 1 month, because look at this. It tells you if it is disposed after the 20th of the month and it was disposed on the 31st. So it means we must include this month of March 2006. So you bought it on the 1st of Feb, X4. So all the way to the 31st of Jan, X5, that's 12 months. All the way to the 31st of Jan, X6, that is another 12 months. So then we have February, that's 1 month. And because you've crossed the 20th day in March, that's another month. So you have 2 more months, which gives you 26 months. You have correctly calculated it as £150 a month, because they tell you that this business was purchased for 5,400 for 3 years, so 36 months, and that's 150. So our accumulated depreciation is actually 3,900. So so you're right, you received this. So what you really have is this. So this will end up being 900. I mean, you have the process correct, but these are both wrong now. But this is correct because you got this wrong. So just watch out quietly. Watch out for these little tricks. I think this is what the issue. Practice and watch out for what's going on there. But you have the principle, and that's the main thing. So this is 3,900, and therefore this is 900. Okay, right. Yes, here I was slightly interested. This was suspense accounts. So we're told that you have a problem where we have a suspense account difference. So because there's actually a suspense account, I don't know what side it's on, but there is a suspense account. So because of the errors, when I fix the errors, the other side will go to the suspense account. You see, because that's where the problem is. You see, here it tells us the first error is a misrecording of a sales invoice. It says the correct entry was made in the sales account, so I know my sales account is fine. So I know that I did this correctly. So my sales account, here's sales, 850.60. So that's fine. Well, the other side must be the bank, like you said correctly. So debit bank 850.60, correct. But we must credit the suspense account. Sorry, I'll just call this bank. Debit bank 850. But the other side that we must credit must be the suspense account, because that's where this difference, that's the account that's holding the problem, or holding the difference, if you like. But we always debit the correct account and credit the suspense account. Then it tells us, the next problem tells us that, oh, you also have this second issue where you transcribed wrongly in an expense account. So you have expense and you have purchase ledger control account. So they tell you the purchase ledger control account is fine, 16375, but what you've done is you've done 13675. That's what you've done. So they're telling you, oh, well, fix it. Well, therefore, you would then put the difference to make it 163, which is 27, and credit suspense account, which is 27. So it must mean, if I just change my pen color, that your suspense account had the 877.6 on the debit side. They don't tell you what side it's on in the initial question. But by you now fixing this, so debiting bank, crediting suspense account, debiting expense, crediting suspense account, you've gotten rid of the suspense account. And that's our aim. Our aim is to get rid of the suspense account. That's the aim. So debit. So really, this transaction, you would need a few more boxes for this transaction to be true. So you would have had to debit. Well, really, no, you couldn't even have debited it unless you got rid of this, and then debit suspense account, and then now put back in to the expense account 163 and then credit suspense account. That would still equate to 127, whether you did it here and did it here. But so you didn't, no marks there, but this was correct. So I think we need a review of suspense accounts. This is something you need to go back and practice on. And hopefully my email will discuss this. This is an interesting one. You almost got there, but you missed one thing. So this is correct, of course. Good. This is correct, of course. This is correct. Good. Now look at this. This is a bounced check received from the bank. And again, it's just, double entry. So what's happened here is that you had a debtor sales ledger control account, and you had bank, and someone owed you 1658. Then they sent you a check, and so you did 1658 and debit bank 1658. So technically this 1658 here is in here right now. It's in there. That's what we're saying, right? Because you received all these checks and they're clearing out. And this 1658 was initially in here, or probably in here. So you receive the money, so you'd basically clear it out. Then it bounces. So you get an email saying, sorry guys, there's no money in the bank. Actually, sorry, there's no money in the bank. So in your bank reconciliation, it tells you there's no money in the bank. It hasn't come through. So you have to kind of restore that debt. The person has not got away, because if you don't, what you need to do, in effect, is now kind of, 1658 to the bank and put it back in the sales ledger control account. So we need to actually put the bounced check back in here, 1658. So it's the fact that the person still owes us that we're interested in, because you see he hasn't paid. By doing this, you're actually reducing even what we're owed even further. So this isn't correct. So when you now do this, you will now see that you have, if you like, you have a difference. You have a difference because they tell you there's a difference. So the argument, if you remember, is that, we can test it. Let's just test it. 753,492, 901, 711, 1658 on this side, 813, 564, 53824 and 783929. So let's add all these let's add these up and see where the difference is. 753,492 plus 901 711 plus 1658. So everything on this side right now is 165861. And let's look into everything. Let's look at what's happening on this side. We have 813,564 plus 53824 plus 783929, and everything here is 1651,317. So there's a difference. So it means that we have, I'll just change my pen color, something else that has gone out through here, and it probably, most likely, we're reducing. So which one of the following could the missing figure not represent? So it could represent a contra. If you remember that a contra reduces. So contra was, you have a purchase ledger control account. So imagine we owed someone £5,000 and we have a sales ledger control account. So where someone owed us £5,000. So a contra says that, well, if you owe someone £500 and they owe you 5,000, you can eliminate each other by debiting that and crediting that. So a contra on the credit side can be the reason for the difference between the debit and the credit side. So no, the answer is not a contra. It could be a discount allowed, if you like, because we could have given a discount and therefore received less money. So if we're owed this amount of money, we could receive, I don't know, 750 and therefore have given a discount of 3,492. So it could have been a discount allowed, but this is discount received, and discount received do not feature in the sales ledger control. So it couldn't have been this. So the truth is, you could have answered this without really sort of, and a debt, of course, if we owed this and then we have a bad debt, we credit sales ledger control account. Maybe you missed the reading. It said which of this could not represent. So, so the real answer really here is discounts received. It cannot be discount received. It could be a contra. It could be discounts allowed. That sort of thing. And we've done all the others, to be fair. All the things, everything else we expect to see, we've done. Cash book, money received, sales returns, contra, discounts allowed. Any bounce checks would be on this side, just from my double entry. And the amount, of course, is the difference between the two sides, which is this minus this, which is minus 1656861, which is 5544. So we have 5544. That's the answer there. Yeah, cool, great stuff. So let's carry on. Yes, this was an interesting one, and what I really want you to do here. Yeah, I mean, actually, it says that you don't have enough time. You also look, but you feel you don't quite understand the subject. You're right, and this is all very good. Professional competence, due care, and I think this was good enough. I probably have given you 2 out of 3 here. But this one here, what I want to do is I'm going to send you the model answer, and I almost want you to write it up again to really see what you need to do to get 12 marks. Because you might have done this thinking, okay, I've answered enough, but you really haven't. You need to really expand on what's going on here. The bank rec especially. You want to write everything. You just said this is a comparison between the bank statement and the cash book. I mean, I think you really need to explain what the bank rec is really trying to do. Right? The bank rec is, first of all, trying to update the cash book with all the things that we expect when we update a cash book, direct debit, standing orders. And the bank rec itself is looking for checks that have not been received, checks that have been looking for errors, everything you must write. And you'll see the answers here. Even depreciation. This is fair, but you want to talk about really the point of depreciation, if you like, that for accounts to be true and fair, for us to compare. We cannot generate revenue without a relevant expense. So, and also the allowance for bad debts. Yes, so I think you want to expand on this, and I think what I want you to do is I want you to read the answer when I send it to you, and then really expand on that. Really work, please. Whoops, sorry. Work on where am I? Oops, sorry. Where are we? Work on. That's just disappeared now. Yes, work on expanding that answer. But I think reading this. Let me just come here 1 second. Yeah, I don't think this was enough for 50 to have passed this. I think you would have needed a bit more information. So I'm going to send you the answers. The answers are here. You can see here. You see, look, just to highlight what I'm saying here alone is this issue here. Depreciation is used to match. I just want to highlight this, is used to match a portion each year. But the key point here is you're advising us. It's derived from the principle of matching, or the accruals principle. So you're telling us the origin of the problem. I mean, look at this. Sometimes the bank has made a mistake and the reconciliation will pick it up. So you can see where I actually can imagine where. So I actually have a feeling your spreadsheets are pretty good. I imagine that because I'm sure you're good at that. I'm yet to mark that. I'll mark that in a second. But I want you to look at this again and really expand. And I'm going to send you the answers for this as well. You can see it is quite long. So for 15 marks, you can imagine the examiner wanting something quite a bit more from you. Great stuff. That's 20 minutes. That's a long time. So I'll do the spreadsheets task 3 in a different video. Thank you.